talk about it.
Yeah. So is Oprah running for president?
Yeah.
I never considered the question even a possibility. I just thought, oh.
Right, because it's clear that you don't need government experience to be elected president of the United States, right?
I thought, oh, gee, I don't have the experience. I don't know enough. I don't know. And now I'm thinking, oh.
Oh. She's joking, of course, but there are worse ideas. See that rebuttal to Trump? Out of ideas, the Democrats rebooted Mayberry RFD. But Oprah's an icon who, unlike traditional politicians, could match a wild card like Donald Trump. And if she won, she could give everyone a free car. And how different is that really from most Democrats? And consider who her running mate could be: Stedman or Gayle. She could replace the cabinet with her book club. I kid, but she's quite a story. Born into extreme poverty, not having a pair of shoes till she was 6 years old, she became the richest Black American of the 20th century, worth billions. She's the walking, living, breathing reminder of American opportunity, capitalism, and optimism. She's rugged individualism at its best. However, there is scandal in her life. Her name is not really Oprah, it's Orpah. So who is she really, Oprah or Orpah? Could she be a Russian spy? We'll need an independent investigation, perhaps by Dr. Phil. But really, this is fake news. The real news is that the Democrats and the media are already thinking about 2020. It's natural in team sport politics to only see elections as the game and not all those days in between. It's like the next 4 years are the world's longest halftime. Was there ever a time when the bubble stopped thinking about the next election for maybe 1 month and just focus on the country? Imagine if on your job, you're only thinking about keeping your job 4 years from now. You wouldn't get much done.
Don't you do that?
Maybe in government, that's good. Kimberly. All right, by the way, her real name is Orpah, which is a biblical name from the book of Ruth.
So that wasn't the fake news part of it.
No. Her name is Orpah. But they couldn't pronounce it, so it's Oprah. She would be a great choice, Kimberly.
She's very likable.
No, even if she's joking,
she's an
she'd win.
entrepreneur, she's smart. Yeah, she has
maybe
high favorabilities, the whole deal. So, but would Valerie Jarrett go and run the White House with her?
Well, that's a good question.
Moved in with the Obamas.
Oh, maybe it'd be Gayle or Stedman. You never know, Juan.
I like her a lot, and I like Gayle, too.
2020, Juan, Oprah versus Donald, best, greatest election ever, correct?
Yeah, I think it'd be fun because, you know, it would be about white women, you know.
Really?
Yeah, because guess what? Educated white women are the vulnerability of a Trump candidacy at all times, and Oprah knows how to relate to that audience. I maybe even better than George Clooney. I don't know.
Better than an educated white woman named Hillary Clinton.
Yes, apparently so, because I don't think that you won't have Benghazi and the Secret Server on Oprah. You'll have to talk about real foundations, real charity, which is what she's
But you know what? Oprah's smart enough not to run in 2020 because she'll lose. I mean, there's no.
She'll be 67, Eric.
But maybe 2024, as you pointed out. Look, anyone that's smart enough to put $1 billion in their bank account is probably smart enough to run the country. You have to have talent. You have to hire the right people to keep them around you, and you can't waste money. And that was the theory. That was the concoction, the recipe that I thought Trump could bring, and I think he is. So, yeah, Oprah, Mark Cuban, another one who may want to take a shot.
BFF?
My buddy at 2024. Good luck, Mark. But, hey, by the way, Mark Cuban was wearing a 46 jersey to a basketball game last week.
Yeah, we saw that.
President 46.
Oh, we got it.
The rich is only the rich. The rich is the best qualification for president.
No, successful business-like qualities, yeah.
What I find interesting about Oprah is she was born to an unmarried teenage mother. So she's actually an example of how being pro-life can turn into something pretty amazing. Don't you think?
Absolutely. Look, I mean, and that's one of the questions of that faces the Black community in terms of what are we losing in terms of supporting that policy. Anyway, I'm sticking to my prediction.
What? Al Franken?
Al Franken. Watch. He's setting himself up because he's like, I'm a celebrity and I'm a politician and I'm a senator and I'm coming from
Wow,
Minnesota.
that's going to be so scary. I can't take it.
All right.
Going to Ireland.
Mark my words.
Let's move on. It's not Oprah who will run against President Trump in 2020. One of the left's loudest mouthpieces is warning his fellow liberals they're going to lose again if they don't take Trump seriously this time when the five returns.
2020 may sound like it's a long ways away, but Democrats need to get their act together now if they want to get back in the White House again, despite what you heard from Gregory. Political pundit and former Obama advisor Van Jones is sounding the alarm to his fellow liberals not to underestimate President Trump.
He is running a movement based on pride and prosperity. It's a completely different appeal. And so that, I think, creates this mess where the liberals are out there protesting and the independents are moving his way. And then guess what? It's even worse than that. He may take the protocol card away. He may actually start following the protocol. So then the liberals are going to get beaten, not just because we can't compete with him on pride and prosperity, but we can't just demonize him on protocol. And once again, I think liberals are in grave danger of missing the whole plot until it's too late.
Kimberly, is that right?
Listen, Van Jones is a smart guy. I know him from back in San Francisco, where he was working as, political operative there, and so he's very close with Gavin Newsom, with my ex, the lieutenant governor. He's somebody, I think, who gets it, and said it before. This isn't the first time that he's warned people to not underestimate President Trump, and he's right. There is a movement. People that underestimate, all the pollsters and the pundits, saw what happened, and they showed up for President Trump, and the left was taken aback, I guess, until the point that they canceled Hillary's fireworks. Then they saw perhaps the writing on the wall. But yeah, he's right. They should pay attention. And like Greg said, Michael Moore was another one who predicted that Trump would win. And Van Jones was actually listening instead of just making foolish criticisms. When the president spoke to the joint session of Congress, he heard what he was saying, and he knows that President Trump is somebody that is actually reaching out and appealing to all Americans from some of the things that he said specifically when he addressed Congress. So he's like, do not underestimate him.
So, Eric, there's some of the bounce back, as I saw a piece in GQ today, said, hey, what's going on with Van Jones? What's he jumping on the Trump bandwagon for?
Well, I don't know if he's jumping on the Trump bandwagon. I heard some other things he said about Trump in the wake of the big address that Trump gave on Tuesday. I don't think they were very becoming of President Trump. I think he's remaining liberal. He's just very smart. In saying you can better wake up or you're not going to have a shot at 20. I don't think you have a shot at 2020 anyway, unless you put someone up who's amazing, smart, likable.
Because Trump has no trouble.
No, because it's as you well know, it's very hard to take
Dana,
unseat a
he's being honest.
What do you make of it? If you were looking at saying, why is Van Jones being so praising of President Trump?
I just think that I don't think he's praising. I think he's just talking about reality. And the Democrats actually are having to rebuild from the ground up, because it's not only the presidency that they lost, but over the last 8 years, they had lost all those state legislative races. So they don't even really have a bench. So before they think about, they have to rebuild from all accounts, and nobody knows what's really going to happen. So talking about 2020 is a little premature.
So, Gregor, what about, who was it? I think it was Limbaugh said that the Democrats brought out Captain Kangaroo in the form of Governor Beshear of Kentucky.
It would be great if Van Jones had a son he might even called a minivan. It's amazing, though, how the left turns
Jones is the last.
How the left turns on their own when they kind of step, and you know this, how they step out from the lockstep. And well, the right does it too, obviously. But Van Jones has gotten a lot of grief for some of the things. Katie Tour actually was complimentary about the speech, and once that happens, they attack. And I think that's a problem on both sides, as you're right. But the reason why the Democratic Party lost, and I don't know if Van played a role in it. I mean, there was a lot of identity politics going on that relied on name calling. Everybody was a racist. And then you marginalized law and order, which allowed somebody like Donald Trump to come out as the law and order candidate. So those are the two things they really have to look at. They got to ditch the identity politics and stop demonizing law and order.
Wow, a prescription for Democratic success from Dr. Gutfeld. One more thing up next.
Yes.
It's time now for one more thing. Hello there. Happy birthday, Eric Bolling.
Oh, Kimberly, thank you. Thank you.
Yes, and I think you already got your big present, which was President Trump.
Oh, look at that.
45.
Look at our new studio.
Look at how cute this is. And there's your books, Wake Up America and the Swamps. We'll sell some. We'll have some cake. We'll let you continue.
Should have been like in
That's not. You got to get a better picture for
You think so?
Yeah, I don't like the hair.
Someone said, but you want to know something, Greg? Everyone's talking about whether it looks good or bad.
But you know what I'm talking about? No candle. I want a candle.
No, they told me we couldn't do it. We can't have fire or something. Okay.
Okay, so they want me to go.
Happy birthday. Take a bite.
Can you do me a favor? I'm going to be off tomorrow. My wife's taking me to Puerto Rico. But Saturday morning, we're going to, Saturday morning, Juan's going to be on the show. We have Mick Mulvaney on. He's the director of Office of Management and Budgets. And listen, as Dana knows, we're both policy wonks. I talked to him about things like tax cuts, border tax, border fees, who's going to pay for the wall, and foreign aid, and where we're cutting back. Really, there's a lot of news that's going to come out of that one.
This is Del Frisco's yellow cake. I want to say thank you on behalf of a
This is what Hillary sold to the Russians? All right.
Oh, God.
It's my turn, Kimberly, since you've lost your responsibilities.
Look what's happening here.
Greg's celebrity sighting. So I take the subway every single day. I was getting off on 49th Street. And who did I see? This incredibly famous person. Take a look. My first picture. Look at this guy. Who could that be?
Oh,
Another picture I took. There he was again. Yes, it's Eric Bowling.
Wait, what?
Is there?
It's Eric Bowling. Do the side view, Eric. You got to do the side view.
no.
There you go. Side view. Do the side view. Now show the other side view.
They say play the same role.
It's funny. I see that button. I go, there's Eric Bowling. It's
I
Bowling.
want to be the
It's Damian Lewis.
Yeah. He's
Right.
playing
Such a good show.
Eric
Back in the
Bowling.
day.
I lost control completely
go,
here.
go.
Okay, this is my one more thing from yesterday, so I'll try to blow through. President Trump signed an executive order on Tuesday. It directed the government, the EPA, to pull back Obama's rule, Waters of the United States rule. Here's a couple of headlines of hysteria. Politico said, Trump touts clean air and water while trying to kill air and water rules. There were other more hysterical things. Here's the thing. The rule never went into place because it did not pass judicial muster. Everybody that works the land and that is a landowner wants to protect it and conserve it. Believe me, my uncle said in Wyoming, he doesn't want them to come in up there and telling him what to do, and he doesn't go to Florida to tell them how to protect manatees. So everything's going to be okay. Sorry, Juan, you only got 10 seconds.
No, wait, do I have 10 seconds?
Go,
I have 10 seconds?
Go.
All right, watch this. This is schoolyard. You got to punch
That's
somebody in
happy
the birthday. Happy
Good
birthday,
luck.
man.
Thank you,
Oh,
brother.
my God.
That's
Let
assault.
them eat cake. 7:50 hours in government.